AITA for kicking my brother and his family out after he tried to give me a e-a-vention. I am having hard time feeling remorseful and I am unwilling to apologize for calling my brother out and for asking him to vacate my property. I have given him many chances to stop this behavior and my brother won't stop shaming me for having been a stripper before I got my prestigious job. These are his literally words, I'm a nurse anesthetist. He has been making offhand remarks about me having been a stripper since he found out 6 years ago. He gets on these long tirades about how I am ungodly, unholy and that the sins I committed can never be forgiven unless I repent and let Christ into my heart. I am not religious, I'm certainly not a Christian and will never be one, but my brother refuses to accept this. Also, I only started stripping because his drug and gambling addiction ruined mine and our parents' life. He remortgaged their house, took out loans and several credit cards in our parents' name and even sold our parents' identity to his former dealer. I didn't know how bad the situation was until I came home one day from university and found strangers living in our house. My father was too embarrassed to let me know they were living out of their car. They also never reported my brother to the police because my parents didn't want him back in prison. Last time he went in for 2 years, me and my parents were blackmailed to pay his prison debt. So when I found out my parents, baby sister and baby brother were living out of their car, I decided to work as a stripper. I made good money and with that money I was able to house my family, pay off my parents' debt, my brother's debt and put my younger siblings through college/university. During that time I also paid for his rehab and he got his shit together. Now he is happily married, employed, sober and with a child on the way. FYI, I paid for his wife's IVF treatments. Last Sunday our parents invited some people over for a big catered dinner. My brother and his wife thought this would be the perfect time to turn it into what he called a e-a-vention and embarrass me in front of all the guests. I completely lost it. I was so enraged that I spent most of the evening cussing him and my sister-in-law out. I reminded him that I would never have been a stripper if he hadn't tried to ruin us. On Monday I drew up an eviction notice and sent it to him. I want to cut all ties with him and his family. I am truly done with him. Almost everyone is telling me I am right in being angry, but that it's terrible to kick him and his wife out when they are due to have their first child in 9 weeks. My parents are begging me to forgive him and honestly I feel like I have been and I am being reasonable. I've given them 90 days. I am done being called the Huari of Babylon and the downfall of mankind. Apologies for the length, but I thought I needed you all to know as much as possible and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I had to repost this because the moderators locked it down for breaking the rules. I have edited it and reposted it for judgment. Thanks. Edit. For clarity, I stripped for 5 years and used the money from that to claw myself and family out of debt and pay for my brother's rehab. I haven't stripped in over a decade. I paid for my sister-in-law's IVF and bought the house my brother and his wife live in with my nurse anesthetist money. Which is why he doesn't feel bad about asking me for help now, cause this money wasn't made from sinning. Also, my sister-in-law is just as bad as he is.